Welcome to the channel, guys. My name is Marie, and we're sitting in our beautiful container garden where we produce most of the fresh food that we eat right here at home. And on a daily basis, I encourage you to do the same, to plant what you eat. I did a video a while back regarding planting by the moon because that is what I do, guys. In order for the garden to do the best that it can do, we plant according to the moon. And I did a video explaining how you plant by the moon phase, but quite a few persons don't quite understand it. I myself have a little bit of challenge, but I depend on my resources to plant according to the moon. Now, I am going to explain how you plant and exactly what you plant throughout the month of October, not using the moon, but the dates that you should plant what on. Now, I use a farmer's calendar, and I'm going to read a disclaimer for it because I am quite aware that some persons will not be able to plant at this time, and also that there are different gardening zones. And so you have to bear your zone in mind when planting via the calendar. I am in zone 13, so persons in that same zone will be able to plant all of what I'm telling you to plant. But there are persons outside of that zone who might not be able to do these set of plantings at this time. I really do hope that this video is more helpful than the one that I shared a while back. So the disclaimer says the dates listed below are consistent across all growing zones. Please consider your regional weather and climate before following our suggestions. We also recommend that you talk with a local greenhouse or your agricultural extension office to discover optimal windows of time within which you may use the dates below. Be sure to check out your frost dates and learn more about your plant hardiness, which may have changed a bit when the zones were updated. So bear that in mind, or those things in mind, when following the dates that are recommended in this farmer's almanac. So this is the almanac that I've been using. Now, locally there is, in Jamaica, where I'm living, there is a local farmer's calendar, McDonald's almanac, and that one you can get at pharmacies. I usually see them, quite a few of them on the street, downtown Kingston, where they usually sell puzzle books, and in town centers, whichever parish you're in, check in the market district, they usually have them because it's a farmer's calendar, so usually somebody at the market um sells them, so you can check there. But I get my resources online. It is free online, so there's no need for me to go searching for it when this one worked just as well. All right, so we're in the month of October. Today is the 1st of October. Let me go through a few keywords that you will hear during the course of this video. Let me go through exactly what they mean so you're clear. All right, so you'll hear me say above ground crops. Above ground crops refers to crops that produce their yield above the soil. So your peppers, your corn, your squash, things like that that produces above ground, those are the above ground crops that I would be referring to. And then you'll hear root crops. The terms are obvious, but I'm still, just so you're clear, I'm still giving you the meaning of each. Root crops are the crops that produces their yield below the soil, such as potatoes, radishes, carrots, etc. And you'll hear seed bed. Seed beds refer to a bed of soil cultivated for planting seeds or seedlings before being transplanted. So preparing your beds or your pots, that's what I would be referring to as seed beds. Seedlings, those young plants, especially ones that grows from seeds rather than from cuttings. So seedlings, you see those little teeny plants that grows Those are the seedlings and not cuttings. Those two are planted at different times. Transplanting mean to uproot and replant a growing plant or already well established plant, such as my um, June plum that Steve just transplanted. All right, so you'll also hear the term favorable, good, best, and these terms are all considered beneficial days for planting. Favorable and good mean the same thing. However, best is considered the optimal day for planting seeds. So, favorable you can plant, good you can plant, but when the best days, those you'll get the best yields from when you planted on those days. All right, so um I think we've covered the keywords. So let's go into exactly what we plant this month on what day. Exciting time now, guys. Okay, so today and tomorrow, 1st and 2nd of October, they're poor planting days. So you kill your weeds and you clear your land. Absolutely no planting for today and tomorrow. That's the 1st and 2nd of October. Do not plant anything. Those are considered to be barren days. And so you either weed your garden, kill weeds, stuff like that, but do not plant anything on today and tomorrow. And as I said, I'm not going to give you the exact phases. You can look those up if it is that you so choose. So you can align the days with the moon. But that confused a lot of persons the last time. So I'm giving you specific dates and specific crops to be planted in this video. So grab your paper and pen if you don't have access to calendars, so you can have those dates locked, or put them in your phone so you can remind yourself. All right. So that's 1st and 2nd of October. Absolutely no planting. Let's move on to where my thing went. Now, moving on to the 3rd to the 5th of October. Those are for extra good days to plant vining crops. Favorable days for planting above ground crops where climate is suitable. So also pay attention to how suitable it is for you to plant these crops at this time, because I know it is getting cooler, and for crops like pumpkin and watermelon, which are vining, cucumbers, those are warm weather crops. So if you're in zones or areas or countries where it is still warm at this time of year, then you can go ahead and plant cucumbers, pumpkins, watermelons, stuff like that. You can plant between the 3rd and the 5th of October. Write that down, 3rd to 5th, plant vining vegetables and fruits. Those will do well in climates that are conducive to planting. Now, after the 5th, they're going to pause again, because barren days are between the 6th and the 7th. On the 6th and the 7th, absolutely no planting. Those are also considered barren days for October. So you do not plant anything. Sometimes you plant your stuff in your garden and you're wondering why it's not doing well. It's because you planted them on barren days, and usually on these days seeds tend to rot, or roots tend to rot in the soil, based on the gravitational pull of the sun. All of the moon, not the sun, guys, the moon. The moon. And so sometimes the soil is just too moist at that point to plant those things. So on the 6th and the 7th, 6th and 7th, do absolutely no planting. On the 8th and the 9th of October, good days for transplanting. So that is taking smaller or established plants and planting them in other areas or other containers or other beds. So the 8th and the 9th, good for transplanting. Good days for planting beets, carrots, onions, turnips, and other hardy root crops where climate is suitable. So I keep going back to if it is suitable because not everywhere you're going to be able to plant these things at this time of year. I can't wait for spring when everything goes for everybody basically. But for now, until then, just check with your local um, agriculture department and so on, find out exactly if you're able to plant. Some of you know you're not able to plant because the frost is going to come soon, and so you know this will not go for you right now. That is the 8th and 9th of October, good for transplanting and planting your root crops such as your beets, carrots, onions, and turnips. On the 10th and the 11th of October, these are poor days for planting. Seeds tend to rot in the ground. So those are two. We can consider those 2 days barren as well. So that's the 10th and the 11th of October for planting days, no matter what zone you're in. On the 12th and 13th, you can start seed beds. Your containers, replenish your soil, replenish your beds, and plant flowers. You can plant your flower gardens. It's also a good day for transplanting. These 2 days, the 12th and 13th, they're also good days for transplanting. Best planting days for fall potatoes, turnips, onions, carrots, beets, and other root crops where climate is suitable. So for a lot of zones, you'll still be able to plant these. These are cool, hardy crops that you're still able to plant. Some of them will overwinter in the ground, such as garlic and so on. Some onions too. They will overwinter and then you'll get early spring harvest. So, and potatoes too, you can plant them, cover them, and they'll grow early spring. So, some of you who are in colder countries and zones, you're still able to enjoy your gardens for a little bit longer. Now, for the 14th to the 18th of October, a most barren period. There are so many days in October that you should not plant anything. These days are best for killing plants, pests, or doing chores around the farm. Good harvest days. So, like my squash here that I need to harvest can get a little bigger. Those are good days to do your harvesting, but do not plant anything. Clean the garden between the 14th to the 18th. Do some cleaning in the garden. Do not plant anything during that period. The 19th and 20th of October, fine for sowing grain. By the way, October is my birthday month. My birthday is coming up in this month, guys. Your girl getting old. The 19th and the 20th, fine for sowing grains, hay, and forage crops. Plant flowers, favorable days for planting root crops. So it's not the best day, but if you plant them, you'll get something. That's between the 19th and 20th of October. You can plant root crops, but you might not get the best harvest from them. You can go ahead and sow your grains and so on for those of you who are still able to do that. On the 21st to the 23rd, start your seed beds. For those of you who are able to, I know it's really cold by then for some of us. Favorable days for planting above ground crops. Oh my goodness. Do you realize that since I started this video, it's the first we're able to plant above, no, second time that we're able to plant above ground crops. So favorable days for planting above ground crops and leafy vegetables such as your lettuce and so on. Cabbages, kale, celery, where climate is suitable. You can go ahead and plant those, and that's the 21st to the 23rd of October. Plant up your leafy greens and those things. Your herbs, your celery, those things. Celery and Um, Parsley does well in this, and cilantro too does well in the cooler part of the year. On the 24th and the 25th of October, do clearing and plowing, but no planting. These are barren days again. 24th to the 25th, don't plant anything on those days. Clean your garden, harvest what is there to be harvested. Just look at what you have growing and enjoy your garden on those days, but do not plant anything. Trust me, guys. We have tested. I was adamant at one point when Steve said, just plant according to the calendar at work. That's what old people did. Do it according to the moon. And I was like, that is just fairy tale, not no go so. But since I started planting using this almanac, it has made the difference in my garden, the biggest difference. So I encourage you to use the farmer's calendar or almanac in your zone or area to plant and come back and tell me the difference that is. Some of you have been testifying, and I thank you guys for coming in the comments and letting me know that these videos are worth it. Appreciate that. So it has been working for others too. So I encourage you to do that. Now I talk too much and I don't remember where I was. Okay, I was at the 24th and 25th where you're to do no planting. On the 26th and the 27th, you can plant tomatoes, peas, beans, and other above ground crops. Indoors in the north and outdoors in the lower south. So that I was saying regarding persons who are not able to plant now. I didn't say that you could plant indoors, did I? I'm so happy for this. So you can still, if you have grow lights or have access to sunlight through a window, you can also plant your peas and beans that will. I don't think the tomatoes and peppers will produce indoors. I really don't. Let me know. It might because I have a friend on YouTube here. She plants only indoor and her peppers does well, but she has them under light uh, all the time. So, yes. So, let me read that again. For the 26th and the 27th, plant tomatoes, peas, beans, and other above ground crops such as peppers indoors if you're in the north, outdoors if you're in the lower south. So, if you're in the warmer area, plant those outdoors. If you're in the colder countries, plant them indoors if you are able to do that. Moving on down towards the end of the month, on the 28th to the 30th, poor planting days. Kill poison ivy, weeds, clear land, but absolutely no planting. So from the 28th to the 30th of October, do no planting on those days. You're going to think you're a bad gardener when in fact you just planted it on the wrong days. So bear that in mind because we get discouraged from time to time when we plant and they don't do well. And sometimes if we just planted them on another day, I'm seeing a bug and I'm not sure if it's beneficial or harmful. And so I'm a little bit distracted with flow away. I'm not sure. Even with the pest, guys, the pest will attack your plant more if you plant them on the wrong day, as against if you planted them on the right day. Because the healthier the plant, the more the pests will leave them alone. They don't like healthy plants. They like the ones that are suffering. And so you will have more pest problem if you plant on the wrong day. So everything surrounds the moon. Or the moon surrounds everything. No, everything surrounds the moon. Yeah. So that's the 28th to the 30th. Absolutely no planting. Clean your garden and enjoy your garden on those days if you're able to. On the 31st, the very last day of October, it's extra good for vine crops, favorable days for planting above ground crops where climate is suitable. So, this is a very good day to plant up your cabbages, your callaloo, your lettuce, your tomatoes, your peppers, everything that produces above ground. Those are favorable days to plant them. Did not say it's the best day, but they will grow and produce if planted on those days. They are extra good days for vining crops. So plant up your pumpkins, your cucumbers, your watermelons, those stuff. Plant them. Beans, plant them on the 31st of October, and those will do you proud. All right. Let me know in the comments, all of the persons who took notes. Let me know if you wrote down those dates. But the good thing is, when I post a video, you can replay. So if you did not write down those dates just now, you can go ahead and replay this video. And so you can make your notes in your phone, jot them down on a piece of paper, and so you know when to plant. And let me know in the following month if they don't do better than the month before. All right, guys, let me know if this video was helpful. And remember to leave. This was, guys, I got so many requests for this video, and so I had to do it for you. And on that note, I encourage you to continue leaving your requests for videos below so I can prepare future videos for you. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you spending time with me in the garden each and every day. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you all. You could have been other places and you're here with me, so I have to express my appreciation to you. See right up there. He's distracting me as usual. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. Please remember to continue hyping up the videos. Subscribe if you've not already subscribed to the channel. Press the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I post videos. Usually, it is 8 a.m. Jamaica time every single day. So even if you do not get a notification, check the channel. There's a new video posted every day. All right, guys. So thank you and take care. My members, big up yourselves. Bye, guys.